Hi guys, and welcome back to Marie's Acrylic and Gel Nails here in overcast central Queensland. It's warmed up a little bit to the point where it's ridiculous. 1 minute we had in the negative at night, about 1 or 2 o'clock we were getting down below 2 and 3 degrees, and now last night I had to have the fans on because it's so hot. But anyway, getting back to nails, what I have for you today is I've done, as you can see on these 3 fingers, I've done the nail beds because you saw me on, not this one, but previous ones, do the nail bed. So, you know, doing the reverse method, I started in zone 2, then went to zone 3. So what we're doing today is the nail base will be this Fire Engine Red from NSI. I have basic black. Oops, should put it back the right way so you guys can see it. Basic black from NSI. Okay, so make sure we saw this, the Fire Engine Red. And then in my Radiant Pink, I have some netting sitting in the powder. Getting a coating of the powder on it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to put down our red first, because the red will be the base for our nail. So I'm just going to pick up a medium-sized ball. I don't want the acrylic on this nail at being too thick, because what I'm going to do is, while the red is semi not set, I am going to grab that netting and I'm going to press it into my acrylic to leave the netting imprint, and then I'm going to go over that with the black, and we'll see from there. So as you can see, I'm just making sure that the whole nail, I'll get that little bit when I'm filing, but I will fix that little Okay, so when you're happy with your nail, and you can see that that's still fairly wet, I'm going to take my netting out and I'm going to press in my netting. I'm going to lift it off so you can see we're left with that pattern. And the idea of putting just a dry acrylic on is so that you can reuse the netting again and again and again, because the acrylic won't have stuck to it. Did have it sticking a little bit because it was still a little bit too damp, but you can see my netting is fairly clean, so I can reuse that. If I hold it up there, you might be able to see the little bit. Nope, you can't. There is a little bit of a red tinge to the blue, but I'm not going to use that on another nail. So I'm just going to do up my red. I'm going to get my black, and I've taken another medium ball, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to push, and that's what you need to do, is push all the acrylic now into the crevices. that you have just made. Okay. Now I'm not going to encapsulate it. I am going to wait for that to set up, and then I am going to file it, and what will happen will be the black will only be left in the holes that netting has left, and the nail will still be red, but you'll be able to see the lines of the netting. But I'm just going to pause my camera while that dries up. I'm going to go make myself a coffee, and I'll come back and I'll show you the result while I'm filing. So I will be back. Guys, welcome back. Okay, so this nail now is dry. So I'm going to use my drill. So sorry about the noise. But I'm just going to very quickly take off that black. It's still a bit wet. I can't believe that. So I'm just quickly going to take off that top part of the black, give it a bit of a shape, because I am going to go over it. I made a hole, so I need to fix that, but I just want to give it a file and make sure I'm happy with the netting that I have caught in the nail, which I am. I'm just going to reopen my red and get to see a fail. I'm just going to fix that little bit there, and I can place a little bit just there. And fix that. Now where the netting hasn't taken place, down here in this little corner here, what I'm going to do is get, it's called Psychedelic. It's from part of the Neon collection. It's a really, really pretty glitter. And I'm just going to take a couple of very small beads of that and blend it up over. I don't want a lot over that, but I do want a little. So you can see I've put down a very, very wet ball that I can manipulate it that way that it's over any bits that I don't want it to be in. I can wipe it off, but I really do want it to be able to manipulate it the way I have. I'm just going to grab another really tiny bead of it and just pop it there and take it up a little bit and feather that out a little bit over. Okay, so now I'm just finishing out my blending. And I well, if you're wondering what I did then, I just wet my brush. So I just felt it had a little bit too much of that psychedelic there. I mean, while I'm saying it's hot, that's still how cold it is, and my acrylic's taking forever. So that's the finish looked with a little bit of netting. So what I'm going to do is close that up. I'm going to get my Radiant Pink, and I'm now going to encapsulate this nail. So it's ready for filing. So my house is now officially up, listed for sale. I actually had someone looking at it. They want a big home. I think things are happening a little bit quicker than I was hoping for, but I can't complain. And I will apologise about my nails. Like I said, I have let them grow out because I did, and I still do, want to do show you how I do an overlay on my natural nails. And I have now been thinking I was going to do on the hand with the brown and pink gel polish. I was going to do a gel overlay on that hand, but the other hand, my right hand, has a gel overlay where I've told you all that the spine line needs removing. So I'm happy with that being encapsulated. Yeah, so this hand I'm actually thinking of doing, this hand here, I'm thinking of doing an acrylic overlay. And on this hand where, oops, the smile lines need to be moved back, keeping it as the gel and doing a gel overlay on that hand. So while that's setting up, I'm going to pause the camera. I will come back when this one's been filed and it's ready to top coat, so you guys can all see the finished product. But I love doing the netting and I love getting that pattern. I'll just zoom in while it's still nice and wet. I love that. I think that looks really cool. And it'll look even better when it's filed. So I will be back soon. Okay guys, I don't normally encourage Ninja to do this, but do you remember the litter of kittens we had? This is Ninja. He's such a big boy. He's he'll be 1 in September, and he's a huge fatty. But he's my fatty. He's going. It's in the road, Mum. Hang on, I'll move it. An inch. There you go. Thought you'd like to see Ninja quickly. I'm still waiting on that nail to set up. But I thought you all would like to say hello to my baby. Okay guys, I'm back. It's had a rough file. I'm just going to buff it because I wanted to use a standing block and buff it with you guys. So, I mean, I can roughly see the outcome, but you know, I wanted it to be a surprise for everybody, or we all see it developing together, whichever way you want to put it. So I've got my buff first, so just give it a buff. Oh, that's pretty. I like this. I like it a lot. I'll just buff underneath it, make sure there's no sharp bits anywhere. Okay. I'm just going to give it how pretty is that? I really, really, really like that nail. It is really pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to get was going to get my glazing go, but I think I'm going to use NSI brush on gloss for this particular nail. Okay, so it's a gel gloss, and the best thing about this is you get the benefits being self-sealing and more protective, and although personally it doesn't stay like Glaze and Glow I love, because you can just buff it over Glaze and Go with a tissue and it will come up really lovely and glossy, whereas this seems to go very dull very quick, and it's really hard to get back that shine. How pretty is that? So I'm just going to put this in the LED lamp for 60 seconds. Oops. So, how did you all like seeing Ninja? He's big, isn't he? And just wait and we'll talk. But I'll just have to chat to you until it comes out. I've got my camera at an awkward position now. I'll have to blame Ninja. Sorry guys, I hope I'm not making you seasick or anything. Lucky this is the end of that video, this particular one, because I've just stuffed up. You saw my tripod before. Well, my tripod has a center, so it's not 3 legs, it's 4 legs, but I've got this on the single, and I've just used some packing tape, and I've just got it secured in front of my desk. So, you know, I'm sort of working around it. So that was the light beeping. Look at that. Now, there is a dispersion or a tacky layer. I'm just going to wipe that off, but look at that. That is just so pretty. Okay, so we have the netting pushed in and then the acrylic pushed into the holes in the black on this nail. Let's see if we can gently zoom in. Okay, so that's that one. Then we have this one, which was the first one, where we have the netting on the end that's made sort of a little heart. So there, those two. Got a couple more I want to show you with the netting, and we'll move on. So until next time guys, keep safe. Please share and like these videos. You're really helping me if you do, and I will talk to you all later.